We'll head to Optus Stadium now. Quite a remarkable result. The Dockers trailed by 41 points midway through the second quarter and just fought back from absolutely nowhere to steal this elimination.
You wouldn't
final.
read about it. So these are some of the big last quarter moments. There's Jai Amos with that goal there, just his second game, so it was a real risk to pick him. But they needed something because their forward line has been dysfunctional all year. Here's the 50-metre penalty. You're going to see Vandermeer run through the protected area and cost his team a goal there. And then this chase from Frederick. They're small forwards with their speed, and they just got after the Western Bulldogs from quarter time. That leads to that goal. Look at the celebration. Walters kicked three. He was terrific today. This one, how good is that? And he went back and kicked that late in the game, and you thought there may be a few more to this. So Driscoll lays that tackle, gets holding the ball, and hasn't he kicked some big goals in recent times? This one splits the middle. You love his celebration and the fans. Record crowd for the Dockers at Optus Stadium. And they are home on the back of one of the most remarkable wins you have ever seen. Their biggest quarter-time deficit in club history, and they did it in the final. So the resilience that was shown by Justin Longmuir's men today was extraordinary. What a performance. I thought that game was done at quarter-time.
They kicked this first 6 goals of the game, did the Western Bulldogs. The change-up after quarter-time was so drastic. Here are the stats. The Dogs just led in every single category. 28 more disposals, 8 more inside 50s, and then the turnaround from the Fremantle was remarkable.
Yeah, it was a smashing. I mean, the Fremantle just weren't there, and maybe the Western Bulldogs got ahead of themselves at quarter time and thought, how easy is this going to be when it waltz through to the second week of the finals? Not the case, because this Dockers side is hardened. They're hard to score against, they're hard to play against, and that proved to be the case today again. So what a moment in their club history. I mean, they've had some big finals victories under Ross Lyon, but that would be right up there today. And
2 players from Fremantle that have driven their entire success this season in Andrew Brayshaw and Caleb Serong. The first time they've been on the big stage, they were the 2 that brought them back into this game when they were so far down.
Yeah, so, I mean, this is the body of work that's been there for Fremantle, and this is the prioritising of youth. We know that a few years ago, Mundy was moved out of the midfield. He went to half forward. In other areas, Fife's the same. To give these guys the midfield minutes, and then you get the dividends now in your first final in a long time, and this is what they produce. So, Serong 33 with 10 clearances, 6 tackles and a goal, the complete game. Brayshaw's done this all year, voted by his peers as the best player in the competition, another 32. He kicked the goal. It was really important that those midfielders were able to push forward and score, which they did. A lot of these possessions, front half of the ground, we know how difficult it has been for Fremantle to score. So they've led the charge. Brayshaw is clearly their next captain, and he laid a big tackle in the closing minutes of this game, which has just basically summed up the season that he has had. The best two-way runner, I think, from any midfielder this year.
What made this comeback all the more special is that there were so many players from Fremantle that were doing it for the first time. So Fremantle only had 4 players that had played in a final. James Aish, Rory Lobb, Michael Walters and David Mundy. Walters and Mundy, the only 2 that have played one for the Dockers. The Dogs only had 2 players that hadn't played a final.
And it looked like that early, didn't it? You thought that lack of experience was really going to hurt them, and you thought, oh no, this could be an absolute disaster.